Give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So that you said that they put millions of my people. Yes, you said so. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, save facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom, we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood, Slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit a Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they make an oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. There was design 5 for our babies to pass through. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
you see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So that you said that they put millions of my people. Yes, you said so. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what?
All right. Yeah. Shalom, Israel. Yahabashim Yashab Barakatum. Salakia. Yahweh Shemar Aladdin Bashim Yahabshah. Priest and officer Dawa Shahab of the ISUPK started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. Been teaching the troops since 1969, and today is the Tuesday night Brotherhood class. Each Tuesday, we broadcast live from Orlando. We also be in the local library out here in downtown. So if you're in the Central Florida area and you'd like to attend the class, uh, this is where you're gonna get all the information. So every single Tuesday, we're downtown Orlando, the library, from 7 to 9. All right. Of course, Brotherhood class, the water. 1 second. So, like, you can hear me? All right, but so yeah, I'm gonna be teaching for today. Shout out to Isupk who'll be holding it down every single Tuesday. Shalom, Lord Christ, you can hear me?
Hey, Shalom, Lord Christ. I don't want Khan. I can't hear you, sir.
All right, Most High in Christ. I'm trying to put you on the screen as well. I don't know what's going on.
We had the
Not
same
that.
problem yesterday as well.
You said what?
I said we had the same problem yesterday as well.
Oh yeah.
Khan, sir.
Okay. I know, sweats. You'll be able to read for me.
Come on, Khan, sir.
All right, I appreciate that, warrior. Big up, Officer Yeshaya in the building as well. Like I was saying, also could not be teaching every Tuesday, so you allow me the opportunity to teach for tonight. So big up to that priest who be holding it down. Any questions? Feel free to type it into the chat. I'll answer any questions you got. Other than that, man, we'll dive into our topic. All right. Any questions? Any questions?
Let's see. Just want to see if I wrote down the question. Shit, I didn't write it down. Slugger, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I did have a question, but I did not write it down. I'm gonna have to find that thing again.
Okay.
So if you can just bear with me, and as soon as I get it, and then I'll just search it.
Yeah. Nah. No sweat. No sweat. It's no problem at all. Of course, we got the topics lined up. Looks like go ahead. You gonna say something? Okay.
Last, Slag, the other one.
Mm-hmm.
It's about if ye love it's like it says if sinners love like sinners love sinners sinners love sinners too. I know it's that, but I just want to find the scripture, and then I'll post the question. So
Okay. Kind of sound familiar. Sound like you're talking about in the New Testament in Luke, where if you only love those that love you, is that what you're talking about?
so that's exactly. I just went over it, and I didn't write it down.
So I think it's in Luke. If my memory serves me correct.
I think you're right.
But yeah, I mean, whatever you find it, just say Salak in there. We'll dive right into it.
Council, I found it.
You found it? Okay.
Council. It's in
Luke
6:32.
Luke 6:32. This kind of goes with our topic with today. So you right in the spirit, Most High in Christ.
Come.
You know what I mean? Of course, everything around the Bible is circled around brotherhood. And brotherhood is everything. Without brotherhood, there is nothing possible, right, for us to even function as a nation. We can't thrive as a nation. We can't succeed as a nation if we don't have no sense of common decency towards each other. You understand what I'm saying?
Come.
What nation you know that will be able to stand if they're fighting amongst each other? That's what you're seeing in our oppressors' empire right now. You got the Democrat versus Republican, left wing versus right wing. All of this chaos that's going on in America today. What you think the end result is going to be? All right? Our king said it the best, man. A house divided cannot stand. I'm paraphrasing. You know what I'm saying? If you divided, cannot stand. So this is what unifies us. Brotherhood is what unifies us, and that's how we're going to be able to stand. That's how we're going to be able to stand strong as a nation. We have to have some sense of morals and common decency. Be decent with one another, man. I do want to shout out a couple people in the chat, man. Big up to Yaikwa, man. Big Jew, man. That's my boy right there, man. Most High in Christ. Shalom, sis. Bayana. Good to have you on, sis. Shaya Ra, Shalom, Dress Art and Paint. Most High in Christ, y'all. All right, I'm there with you, warrior. Whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and read.
Come. So this is the book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 31. Can I start at 31?
Yeah. Whatever you feel comfortable with. It's no sweat.
Come, verse 31.
All right.
And as ye would that men do to you, do ye also to them likewise.
Right.
Verse 32.
God, if I could just to add a little bit onto this, right? I mean, that's something that's for the most part pretty basic for us to understand, right?
Come.
Right? That's pretty basic. Treat others how you want to be treated. You know what I mean? That's elementary. You know what I'm saying? And that's with everything. Right? You want people to respect you. Well, guess what you got to do?
Slakia.
Go ahead.
You got to respect them back.
That's it. That's the only way you can earn any respect, right? A lot of people like to strong arm their respect. Well, guess what? Stuff like that do not last. You know what I'm saying? If you want people to respect you, well, guess what? You have to give respect. It's just how it works. You want people to be trustworthy, well, guess what? You better make sure that you're trustworthy as well, too. Treat others like how you want to be treated. Right? Read on.
Khan, verse 32. For if ye love them which love you, what thank have ye?
Mm-hmm.
For sinners also love those that love them.
Right. You know what I mean? And before we break this down, I just want to acknowledge this comment from Juan Cordero. Salaki, if I pronounced your last name wrong. Most High in Christ. You know what I mean? The water for hopping on. You know what I mean? This is where you'll find the truth of the Bible. We're going to break down the scriptures and give you the stone cold truth. Not the watered down Christian version. Everything we break down is strictly out of the Bible.
Right.
If you can just type in the city that you're from. All right. So good to have you on. Respect them back. Most High in Christ. All right. So read that part one more time, Yeshai. My bad.
Khan, this is the book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 32. For if ye love them which love you, what thank have ye?
Mm-hmm.
For sinners also love those that love them.
Right. This goes back to the verse that we just read above it. You know what I mean? Like with this truth, comes with a lot of sacrifice. Right? That's what a lot of people are gonna have to understand. And sometimes you're gonna be put in situations, right? You're gonna be put in positions to where you're gonna have to do things even though you don't feel like doing it, even though you don't feel like getting up and going to camp, even though you don't feel like teaching, even if you don't feel like doing whatever that you've been called to do. You know what I'm saying? Well, guess what? You are required to do it. Right? Because love is much more than just a feeling. Love is a what?
Slakia.
Go ahead.
It's an action,
It's an
or
action.
like Slakia,
Mm-hmm.
or what, like you would say, it's a verb.
Most High Christ, right? Most High Christ. Damn, I didn't think nobody paid attention in class, but I appreciate you, Yeshai. Right.
Okay.
It's a verb, it's an action. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a obligation. And that's how serious this action is. We are obligated to love thy brother as ourselves. Why do I say that? Right? In order to show that you love the Most High, what do you have to display in order to show that you love the Most High?
Slakia, sir.
Mm-hmm.
In order for you to display that you love the Most High, is that you love the Most High with all your mind, all your heart, all your strength. And the second to it is love your brother as yourself, which is keeping the law, statutes, and commandments.
Give the brother a hand. You know what I mean? Even though it's just me and you, but yeah, it's you exactly right. Right? This is how simple Christ made it for us. Right? It's a commandment. Right? In order for you to show that you love the Lord, right? It's shown through your actions. Your service to what? To others. Right? Christ also said, by this men should know that you are my disciples. I'm paraphrasing. But how you love each other. Right? A lot of people get certain things confused, right? Because, you know, whatever the psychosis may be, you know what I mean? Where people in their pursuit and trying to find enlightenment and knowledge, oftentimes people develop what is called like a God complex, where they think everything centers around them. You understand what I'm saying?
Come.
When no matter what information that you gain on this earth, whatever knowledge that you claim to have, if it don't teach you how to have a good moral ethic, if it don't teach you how to conduct yourself with discipline and actually treat your brothers with kindness, whatever you're teaching, whatever you're learning is useless. Is not profitable to your life. That's the least, whatever information that you gain that you're trying to study in, that's the least it can at least show you in life, is how to be a decent human being. I don't care about how many books you read. If you don't know how to talk to somebody, that tells me a lot about who you are. Regardless of what degree you may have, regardless of how many books you read, if you don't know how to be at least the bare minimum of a decent human being, whatever you studied in shows to me that is not true. Because that is the main principle of whatever information that you get. That's the main principle of everything, of making sure that we treat each other with love. And this is a commandment. Above everything else, make sure you know how to discipline yourself. Discipline your mind, discipline your tongue. Know what to say, know what not to say. Gain wisdom. All right? Being obedient. At least that's the least that you can learn. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. That's something that's going to make this nation grow big, right? Christ also said the kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, right? Which is a small seed. Once you plant it, it grows to, and I'm paraphrasing, to the biggest tree in the garden. All right? This truth is what we have, is like that mustard seed. This brotherhood, these words that we're reading right now, is that mustard seed. if we actually exercise it, we'll see this nation grow and flourish. You understand what I'm saying?
Come on.
If we actually exercise what we're reading right now and loving each other, guess what? This nation will grow, man. And it is much more than just a feeling. You know who thinks like that? Who only thinks about making sure that they love those that reciprocate that love back?
Salakia.
Go ahead.
People in the world.
Which is true, right? Right, but be more specific for me if you could.
I wanted
Like
to say
Christians, right? But what type of spirit they're in? Like these people in the world that do that.
But they have the spirit of selfishness, because if they do something, they would just do something in order for them to get something in return.
Thank
So
you.
they would.
Nah, go ahead, finish. My bad.
No, can't, sir. That's what I wanted to say.
Nah, you spot on. That's exactly it. The people that's in the spirit that only see you as a benefit, i.e., your pastor, your Christian pastors, your politicians. They only smile in your face because they know they can get something out of you. But when it really comes down to it, they're not as sincere as you think they are. They're not out there making this sacrifice for people that they don't even know, for strangers that they don't even know. You understand what I'm saying?
Come on.
Like, our people got to understand, like, even the people that's cross town that you don't even know, this hood versus that hood. Just because somebody live in a certain neighborhood, automatically it makes them an enemy to your neighborhood. And they might not have nothing to do with the issue between both hoods. But if we understand what these laws are saying and how it's exclusively for us, we will know how to mend those differences. We will understand that you a black man just like me, Hispanic man just like me, Native Indian man, and we're brothers, man. And that's what counts. I ain't got to know all of your history, your whole background. Your blood flows through my veins as well, too. We share the same blood.
Right.
And that counts for something far much more than whatever this earth can provide. Right? I know you've seen the video with Commander Jenny when he was in Baltimore. And he was like battling some Muslims or something like that.
Right.
And he was like, I ain't going to let nobody sell you drugs. You know why? Because you a black man like me. And that's worth something, man. That video is powerful, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the leader that we follow. You know what I'm saying? That's what matters. Just because you're a black man, I ain't gonna sell no drugs, man. Just because you black. Just because you're Hispanic, I'm not gonna misuse you and try to go in your establishments in your neighborhoods and treat you cruelly. I'm not gonna do that just because you're Hispanic. You get the benefit of the doubt. You get the green light. You get a pass. Every other nation, they don't get that benefit. You know what I'm saying? But because what flows through our veins, man, we should hold that as value because it is worth something. All right, read on.
Khan, verse 33. And if ye do good to them which do good to you, what thank have ye? For sinners also do even the same.
Right. A sinner will not make that sacrifice. They're only going to do good to people that they can benefit from. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Right. Like the examples that we gave, right? Like your pastor or politicians or whatever people that's out there that got a interior motive or, a deceptive motive or hidden agenda they got. You know what I mean? Where they, do things only to seek a gain out of it. Well, Christ is telling us that we have to love people, do good to people, even if we don't get nothing out of it. Even if we don't even get a thank you. Just because it's the right thing to do, just because you're my brother, just because you're my sister, I'm going to do the right thing. Just because. And I don't even have to know you. You don't even have to be a part of my family tree. You come from the 12 tribes of Israel. And like we just said, like Commander General Hanna said, is worth something. That is worth something, man. We have to make those sacrifices. And, you know, and I'm just speaking towards, you know, our weakness in our flesh. Sometimes those sacrifices, to keep it a buck, sometimes those sacrifices can feel like a burden, right? For the most part, when we think, you know, damn, I gotta do this for this person, I gotta, you know, it feels like a burden sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't nothing but a weakness. That ain't nothing but your flesh. There is a reward behind those sacrifices you made. The Lord acknowledging what you're doing, even if the whole world don't see it. That kind gesture that you did to that brother down the street, guess what the Lord seen that? That kind gesture that you did to that sister up the block, guess what the Lord seen that? You know what I'm saying? And he understands that this is what's going to fix our nation. And our reward is the kingdom of heaven. But we can't do it if we don't know how to treat each other. We can't get the kingdom if we're constantly bickering and fighting each other. How are we going to build anything like that? You know what I mean? All right, so read on.
Khan, verse 34.
Mm-hmm.
And if ye lend to them of whom ye hope to receive, what thank have ye? For sinners also lend to sinners to receive as much again.
I mean, that's exactly what we was breaking down, right, Ishai?
Khan.
Right. They looking for a game. Right? People's just gonna do things not out of sincerity of their heart. People just gonna do things just so they can get either recognition or just get a greater return back from that person. Like, do you know even in the law, it's against the law to charge an Israelite interest?
Khan.
You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine that established as a nation, or with even let's make it smaller than that. Imagine if we establish that even in our communities.
Right.
Just imagine how much wealth that can grow within our communities. That can also reduce crime. Right?
Right.
You ain't pay me back, you ain't gonna, you know, go upside his head because you're $1 short or anything like that.
So.
But you ain't gonna bother him, and you know, because it's been longer than expected, you're not gonna add $10 more on there. Because that's law. And that's what love is. It teaches us how to conduct ourselves. You know what I mean? Not hoping nothing in return, just because it's the right thing to do. Right? Read on.
Khan. Verse 35. But love your enemies and do good and lend, hoping for nothing again, and your reward shall be great.
Right. We just broke that down. You know what I mean? Just broke that down, right? Hoping for nothing, your reward shall be great. Read on.
And ye shall be the children of the highest.
Mm-hmm.
For ye is kind unto the unthankful, and to the evil.
I want you to read that last part one more time, because that's a heavy statement that Christ was making. If you could, Baba Kasha.
Mm-hmm. For ye is kind to the
if you could, Yeshai, if you could read it slowly, right? Make sure you're reading the words how it's written, right? It says if he, not ye, he instead, right?
Son, cancer.
Right now, no sweat. That he is talking about who? Just so we can get the context.
Christ.
Mm-mm. We in Luke 6 and 35. Yaqua. Luke 6 and 35. Who is that he, Yeshaya? We also got no one y'all on here. Shalom, Lord of Christ, warrior, the water for hopping on.
Shalom, Isupk does it.
Shalom,
Shalom.
y'all. Duh. Who is that he?
Slag, that's us. Like it's speaking to you.
Mm-mm. Who did it mention a little bit above that?
Slag.
Oh, nah, go ahead. I will give you one more shot, Yeshaya. You got it. Nah, you got it. You got it.
The most high, because
The
it says the
Most
highest.
High. You know
God.
what I mean? God. So this is talking about the Most High. So let's read that last part one more time, so we know who is talking about the Most High. Go ahead.
Answer.
Mhm.
For he is kind unto the unthankful and to the evil.
Now, what is this talking about? Is the Lord saying that go ahead and be evil and don't thank him for nothing? Like, what is this talking about? Like, what Christ is trying to go ahead.
No, finish and I'll jump in.
Now, I was just gonna say Christ is trying to teach us something here, right? He's trying to teach us how to be what?
Salakia.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to teach us to have brotherhood, even to those that don't have brotherhood towards the disciples or to us. For those that have brotherhood towards the world, even though the world does not have brotherhood towards us.
Right.
Mm, if I
That's a great answer. That's a great answer. You know what I mean? But it is something specific that he's trying to teach us. Yaquab said, kind to those who aren't kind to us, right? Which is similar to what Yeshaya said. Right. That's a great answer. Go ahead.
But also, what he's trying to say is your brotherhood should not come with conditions. Your brotherhood should be selfless, like a sacrifice. Meaning, if
Man, that's a
you
great
do,
answer. That's a great. Go ahead. No, my bad.
meaning if you like, if like the UPK goes out and we feed people, we clothe people, we do prison programs. We're not saying, yo, now that you have taken food and clothes from us, you must now pay X amount. You must now start paying tithes or whatever the case. Donate. The UPK is not saying that or doing that, but we give brotherhood to those even though we, not receiving brotherhood. So it's basically a sacrifice or a selfless love that we portray to our people.
Man, I gotta give it to you. I like that answer. You know what I mean? That's a great answer. You know what I mean? There is a specific word I was thinking about, but I just like that answer. You know. Did you want to chime in, Nawan Yala? All right. Basically, what Christ is trying to teach us is how to be humble, humility, right? Like everything that Yeshaya said, selflessness, that comes with being humble, right? Sacrifices, that come with being humble. And like we mentioned a little bit prior, not developing that God complex and thinking that everybody just owes you and everything centers around you, because it don't. He wants you to be sincere in your duties. And he's letting you know sometimes you're not going to be loved for it. You're not going to be liked for it. Well, would you still do it?
Right.
That's a test right there for you. You know what I mean? Sometimes your mama gonna hate you. Sometimes your daddy gonna hate you. Sometimes your friends is gonna outlaw you. Your family members gonna outlaw you. He's gonna talk bad about you. He's gonna look around and be like, I don't want to hear that God stuff, man. Oh, that blunt up, man. You know what I mean? Niggas ain't want to hear that sometimes. What then? Are you going to stop teaching then? Are you going to stop serving God? That's what you have to determine within yourself. How sincere are you? All right? And just because you don't get the reward that you're expecting out of others doesn't mean that what the Lord requires us to do, to love each other, doesn't mean it's non-avoid. Doesn't mean we shouldn't have to follow it. The Lord commanded us that we love one another. You know what I'm saying? And listen, you don't have to think that, you're high and mighty in doing it. It's your duty. It's your duty. It's, simple. If I could grab me, unless you want to read more on that.
So the water that actually that's breaking down flat for me. The water, sir.
Nah, Most High in Christ. If I could grab the precept where the unprofitable servant.
I was just thinking about.
I think it's in Luke as well, where Christ was given the parable of the waitress or the waiter. And he was like, yeah, I'm an unprofitable servant, something like that. I'm paraphrasing.
It's like, sir. Go ahead, sir.
You said it's in Luke?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong. Is it in Luke?
I'll read it.
You got it?
Come.
All right.
I'll start at. Want to start at the beginning of it, or just start at that verse?
First, if you could let me know where you at, Warrior. My bad.
Luke chapter 17, verse 10.
17. I probably want you to start up a little bit up. Let me just look at it real quick. 17 to 10. Yeah, start me at verse 7, Baba Kasha.
Just the book of Luke, chapter 17 and verse 7. But which of you, having a servant plowing or feeding cattle, will say unto him by and by, when he is come from the field, go and sit down to meat?
Right. Think about it, right? This is somebody that you hire for a specific service. Think about it. Everybody that comes to do maintenance in your house, you're not inviting them over for dinner, are you? I mean, that would be kind of weird to have strangers sitting down with your family for dinner. You call the plumber, all of a sudden he all up in your kitchen. Right? Your whole purpose for him being in your house is for what? To do his service. Right? You with me? All right, read on.
Verse 8. And would not rather say unto him, make ready wherewith I may sit, and gird thyself, and serve me, till I have eaten and drunken.
Mm-hmm.
And afterward thou shalt eat and drink.
Right. Until your service is done, then you can go on about your business. Right? I pay you for the service. You hop in that car, you can stop by the McDonald's, wherever you want to go there and eat. You know what I'm saying? But make sure the service is done. Right? And he's saying this as somebody that's like a waiter or a server or any analogy, any field of occupation. You know what I mean? Like you're there for a service. Right? Read on.
Come. Verse 9. Doth he thank that servant because he did the things that were commanded him?
Mm-hmm.
I tarrow not.
Right. Like you're not gonna it's his job. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna expect anything else out of him. Right? Imagine if you go to, let's say, like the plumbing analogy. You go inside the bathroom and your plumber is sitting down eating a big sandwich and not fixing your toilet. Imagine if you pay him by the hour. Imagine what would you feel like? Go ahead.
I'll be mad as hell.
Be mad as hell. Like, why are you eating? You know what I'm saying? And imagine if the plumber respond back like, well, I'm here to fix it. You can't fix it. This is right. At least I have the skills to do it. Let me eat. What you gonna do then? Kick that nigga out. It's like, kick him out. Like, you gotta go. What the hell you mean? I'll learn to do it myself then. You know what I'm saying? Right? So it's the same thing, right? With somebody that has the expertise in something, don't make them high and mighty. If you're hired for a service, you have to do your service. And the service that all that Christ is speaking about now, we're about to get to it right here, right? Read on.
Come, verse 9. Oh, so like verse 10. So likewise ye, when ye shall have done all those things which are commanded you.
And what is commanded unto us? What we just read in Luke 6:32.
Salaki.
Go ahead.
That we should love our brothers ourselves, and have a selfless love towards those that hate us.
Yeah, right. That's a commandment. That's what he commanded us to do. And if we do these things, read on.
Say, we are unprofitable servants.
We should say what?
We are unprofitable servants.
Now, what is he trying to teach us here? It's similar to what we just, the latter part of Luke 6:35, what we just read. What is he trying to teach us here?
So like, is he saying to? Well, what is he saying in this line right here? We are unprofitable servants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right? Like, imagine instead of, let's say the scenario is being played out how it's supposed to. You walk inside that bathroom, you see the plumber actually working. He's doing his work, and you're impressed by his work. He's knowledgeable what goes where and what does what and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now you go to pay him, right? You thank him. His response, the right response should be, well, I'm just doing my job. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm just simply doing my job. So what is Christ trying to teach us?
To do your job.
Do your job, of course, right? What spirit though? What spirit you should have? Go ahead.
To do your job and not expect like I don't know I was gonna say to not expect nothing, but
yeah, that's a good answer. I'll take that. That kind of goes along with it, right? With the word I'm looking for, right? The word I'm looking for is humble, right? Humility. Humble yourself. You know what I'm saying? This is your duty. It's your job to love thy brother as thyself. You know why? Because it's commanded onto us to do so. It's not going to be a big parade just because you decided to serve God. There's not going to be a big parade. It's not going to be a big parade just because you made that sacrifice to cut off the things that you cut off in this world. This is your duty. And you should humble yourself. You should have enough humility to say, you know what? I'm supposed to be doing this. I mean, out of all the amount of the wickedness I did already, thank the Lord he gave me an opportunity to make those things right. You know why? Because I was obligated to do it from the jump. We wasn't made to sin. We wasn't made to break the commandments of the Most High.
Right.
This is your duty. You're supposed to be doing this. And it's not something for you to puff yourself up and keep your nose in the clouds and look down on others. You know how the Lord sees it, man? Like Christ said it himself, right? When the Pharisees was going back and forth with him. and I'm gonna paraphrase on the story because I'm trying to, refresh my memory as I'm saying it, right? When he was going back and forth with the Pharisees, they was trying to combat him by saying, well, we're Abraham's seed. We ain't got to listen to you. We're not slaves. We're not, we ain't got to, follow whatever you're saying. We're Abraham's seed. And Christ said, man, don't think just because you're Abraham's seed that, you're righteous, for the Lord can raise up these rocks to serve him. Yeah, y'all familiar with that?
Come on. Slug, sir.
Go ahead.
Is that and the truth shall set you free? Is that part?
I think it's somewhere near in the same chapter. I think it's what he says, the truth shall set you free. And John, right? Come. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like the Lord let him know, like, listen, the Most High can raise up rocks to serve him. You think now just because your fringes hang low that you're special? You think now just because I got this headpiece that I'm special now? Ben was supposed to be doing this. I'm the one that messed up.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not because any good I did. It's because the Lord decided to have mercy on me. He Ben should have put me to death. Now, just because I'm given this opportunity, that's no reason for me to expect a reward out of my brothers and sisters, to look at them as if they're only benefits unto me, that they should pay all their tithes to me, give me all the praise. You should fall out in front of me when I walk by. Who the hell do I think I am if I'm some person like that? But here's the problem. There is religious leaders that do think like that. There's people that's Googling knowledge and information and connecting with the zodiacs, and they develop a whole God complex, thinking that who they are is so divine. God is not impressed. He's not impressed. Even by me standing here before y'all, he's not impressed by it. You know what I mean? I hope, you know what I mean, I'm doing a good job. I would like to think that, you know what I'm saying? But this is the bare minimum. There's a lot more for me to do. A lot more. You know what I'm saying? And that much more is expected out of all of us.
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
Salakia, when it says we are unprofitable servants, is that saying like we're not here to make a profit for being servants?
You could kind of put it that way. Kind of unprofitable servants. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the whole understanding is that, this is our duty. Don't expect nothing in return out of it. We're supposed to be doing this. Right? But you could finish out that verse.
Sir. We are unprofitable servants. We have done that which was our duty to do.
Damn right, warrior. You know what I'm saying? That's the spirit that you always want to be in this truth. For every brother or sister. As you learn this information, always keep a level of humility. With that humility, that's how you're going to be able to show mercy, to show kindness. The only reason people begin to have strife amongst each other is when our egos start to clash. You understand what I'm saying? If one person thinks that he's better than the next and he's higher up than the next and all of that stuff, guess what? That's when you're going to start to have conflict. That's when you're going to start to have arguments and strife. If we can both get on the mindset of understanding that we both ain't shit. Salak, excuse my language. Guess what? We can work progressively to polishing each other up and becoming something. You understand what I'm saying? But if we both dive into this and thinking that, we got it made and we're already there and we know everything and all of that stuff, man, there's going to be problems. It's going to be arguments. It's going to be clashes. Ego is going to clash. You never going to see eye to eye. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot to be like, you know what? I ain't nothing. I'm worthless. I'm an unprofitable servant. This is my duty. I'm supposed to be doing this. I'm not going to get a statue. There's not going to be a parade tomorrow. for the $1 that I gave to this homeless guy. Cameras is not gonna pop out. What was that one show? What would you do? You ever heard of that show? What would you do? That's that. Don't expect that to happen when you do something good. Don't expect. Wait, I forgot his name, man. The Hispanic brother that hops out with the camera every time he social experiment try to see if you're gonna do something good. Don't expect that, man. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? The Lord sees. The Most High sees, man. You know what I mean? So you can drop that.
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
Can this tie into the prodigal son and how when the older brother felt that he should have had when the father through the celebration and had all the fatted calf and all that for the younger brother that came back, and the older brother got jealous and was saying like, why you ain't throw that, why you ain't put on your best robe for me and unallow the fat calf for me and do these things for me. Can that be like tie in together?
Yeah, God, that could. That right there, that prodigal son is talking about the two sons is talking about the kingdoms within the nation, the so-called Southern Kingdom and the so-called Northern Kingdom, right? With blacks and Hispanics, right? And that right there, that parable that you paraphrase, right, is what can mend that differences. Like one ethnic group is looking down on the next, and the other's looking down on one, and the other's looking, falling back and saying, I'm great, I'm better than this, the Hispanics, or I'm a Hispanic, I'm better than this. And nah, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all got the same enemy. We all messed up in the eyes of the Most High. And he's calling for all 12 tribes to come back together, not Negroes only. You know what I mean? There's groups out there that's Negro only. There's groups that's there that's Hispanic only. He's calling for each and every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian to come back to serve him.
Right.
We should not reject each other because of these differences that our oppressor placed on us. And I be hearing a lot of people on this internet who be having these group chats and these lives, debates, and all of that stuff. A lot of our people are perpetuating a narrative that's rooted in white supremacy. Whenever you say something like Black men ain't leaders or Black woman is this, and like all these whack gender war chat groups, it's corny, it's played out, man. You know what I'm saying? And it extends from white supremacy. We got to understand that we have a common enemy and we should not look down on each other. So yeah, that could be used.
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
Oh, one more thing I don't want, just like how you said how the parable is about the two kingdoms. So the son that's coming back will be the northern kingdom, and the son that's jealous and don't want to accept them will be the southern.
Exactly, warrior. Exactly. God, you know what I mean? That's what the whole premises of the breakdown, the parable is about. You know what I mean? You have the northern kingdom, because remember, they was cast off. Right? Now, of course, you still had a remnant that was there, right? And the Asherite sister, I forgot her name, that's written of in the New Testament, said that Christ also went to Ephraim and Zebulun. So you still had a small remnant, but the vast majority was of the southern kingdom. So that's the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. You know what I mean? And those Jews who was considered as Jews were rejecting the ones that was cast off, the so-called Hispanics, the Ephraimites, the Zebulunites. Right? They was rejecting them, looking down on them because, the Lord cast them off. What the Lord is saying, well, you messed up as well, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, but I just decided just to have mercy on you. It's not because any good that they did. He just decided to have mercy. So I guess we should extend that same mercy to our brothers and sisters. So yeah, that's a brief summary. I just want to read this comment real quick. Big Jew says, Salakia, don't look to be rewarded and praised for what you should do. Damn right, boy. Right. Let me get some more. He said, this hit home for me, the water, sir. Barakatah Yahweh Yahushua. Yeah, Barakatah Yahweh Yahushua. It's not me. It's just the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? So this is something that we all grow to learn. Even myself, I gotta, catch myself sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Making sure when I say something to a brother, dang, was that the right thing to say? Dang, that wasn't right. Let me call him up real quick. Well, let me call that sister up real quick. You dig what I'm saying?
Come on.
Or even if they did something that I didn't like, I don't like how you did that. Let me hit them up real quick. You know what I'm saying? So we can always make sure that we keep peace among each other. Wherever there's strife and conflict is at, guess what? It's not of the Lord. A lot of people get it twisted thinking being an asshole is masculine or is showing your zeal. There's nothing zealous about being a dickhead. Salak, excuse my language. I should not probably be saying this. There's nothing zealous about that. You'll find the strongest people be the most kindest ones. You'll find that sometimes. A person that knows what they're capable of, they know how to treat others with kindness. Because if it ever gets to that point, boy, they'll take it there. So they know how to, you got to discipline yourself to not to bring yourself there. Right? And that goes with the expression I know most of y'all heard. The loudest one in the room is usually what?
The weakest.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? The loudest one is the weakest. All right. So let me get John 5. Let's get some more on this humility and selfishness and individualism that's out there. Let's see what the Bible says about that. Let me get John 5. We'll start at verse 1, Baba Kasha.
Khan.
You got it, word.
Khan, sir. This is the book of John, chapter 5, verse 1. After this, there was a feast of the Jews, and Yahushua went up to Jerusalem. Verse 2. Now there is at Jerusalem by the sheep market a pool, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Bethesda, having 5 porches.
Right, so this is the people gather around this pool, right? We all know what a pool is, right? It's a hole where water is inside, where people often swim in. Right, read on.
Khan, verse 3. And in these lay great multitudes of impotent folk, of blind, halt, withered, wanting for moving of the water.
Right. So around this pool is a great multitude, man. It's crowded of people that's blind, that got illnesses, that got disformities, disabilities, right? These people are gathered around the pool waiting for the moving of the waters, right? Read on.
Khan, verse 4. For an angel went down at a certain season into the pool and troubled the waters. Whosoever went after the troubling of the water, step in, was made whole of whatsoever disease he had.
Right. So there's a certain time period where at this pool area, the angel comes down and troubles the waters. Right. Meaning once you start to see the waters move in a certain way, people know, all right, boom, that's the angel coming down. This is my opportunity to get healed from whatever disabilities or ailments I have. Right. If I dip myself in this pool, I'll be straight. Right. So y'all got the picture painted, right? Everybody with me?
Khan.
All right, read on.
Verse 5. And a certain man was there, which had an infirmity 38 years.
Right. So there was a certain man that was there amongst that whole multitude that had an infirmity. He had a disability. Right? Read on.
Verse 6. And when Yahushua saw him lie and knew that he had been now a long time in that case.
Meaning what? When Yahushua seen him, he seen what?
Salakia.
Mm-hmm.
That he's been sick a long time.
Not necessarily, not only sick a long time. What else? Go ahead.
Well, they say when Yahushua saw him lie and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he said unto him. You said when he maybe repeat that question again, Baba Kasha.
So what was Yahushua seeing here? If y'all could paint this picture for me.
Was it a demon?
Just think, simple, regular comment. You know what I mean? Right. Christ seen this man in his disability, and he seen that he was laying on the ground for a long time.
So
go ahead.
Seen that he had faith that Christ will heal him?
Nah. The picture I'm just trying to paint right now is that he was just laying on the ground, meaning he couldn't move because of his disability. And Christ witnessed and realized, like, dang, this cat had been here probably for 2 hours, 3 hours. You get what I'm saying? While everybody's around this pool diving in to get healed, there's this one guy who don't have the ability to get in this pool, and Christ seeing that he's been there by himself for a long time. 3 hours, 2 hours. Right? Read on.
Khan, he said unto him, Willest thou be made whole?
So now what is the picture that's being painted here? So now Christ is going up to him, seeing his disability, see him laying on the ground. Is like, I mean, everybody's diving into this pool. You ain't trying to get healed of what you got going on, right? Read on.
Khan, verse 7. The impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man when the waters is troubled to put me into the pool. But while I am coming, another step down before me.
Now, this right here is what, in context of what we're talking about. If y'all can get me the spirit of what's going on here, right? Think about it, right? We just broke down how they at the pool. There's a whole multitude. There's a guy that has a disability. Christ see him laying on the ground. He's asking him, you ain't trying to get healed? You ain't trying to get inside the pool to get healed? The man responded back with, I got nobody to help me, right? And every time I try to get close to the pool, I get further pushed back behind because somebody steps in front of me. Now, if somebody can give me this, what is the spirit of the multitude that's there at that pool? I'll get no one Yala first. Go ahead, no one Yala.
No Brotherhood.
Yes, no Brotherhood. But break it down more specifically. Give me more detail than no Brotherhood as being displayed.
They're more focused on themselves that they can't even see that this brother right here is laying on the floor for a long time while they stepping in front of him.
Get that brother ahead. Get that brother ahead. They only focus on their own blessing and not worried about those that's not able to get the blessing. They only focus on their own gain, that they're willing to step over this crippled brother so they can get a blessing. And that, unfortunately, that is the spirit that thrives within the Christian church, what makes it thrive within our community. You ever heard the expression crabs in a bucket or in a barrel?
Come.
Yeah, I heard that before, right? Where somebody try to climb out, then another one the crab pulls the other crab down. Right?
Come.
This is what's going on here. The multitude is not concerned about the less fortunate. They're not concerned about those that's not, able to help themselves. They're only concerned about their own selfishness, their own blessing. But guess who's the only one that acknowledged that, brother? The most selfless man that ever existed on this earth.
Right.
Right? By the name of Yahushua, who the world calls Jesus Christ. He was the only one that was able to acknowledge this brother that was suffering here. Nobody else was concerned. They were stepping over him, all of that. You know what I mean? And this is how we treat each other. In our pursuit of certain things in this world, and certain things that that's not even valued as a necessity. We are willing to cut whoever throat for it, step over whoever, cut off whoever, none like it, all of that. You know what I'm saying? When all of that, none of that amounts to anything. God does not promote us to be individuals. You know what I'm saying? To only care about yourself. This work and this duty comes with great sacrifice. Right? Read on.
Khan. Verse 8. And Yahushua said unto him, Rise, take up thy bed, and walk.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 9. And immediately the man was made whole, and took up his bed, and walked. And on the same day was the Sabbath.
Guess what? He was healed. He was healed. He didn't have to go into that water to be healed. All right? The Lord healed him. Are you scrounging and scuffing, having conflict with your brothers and sisters to get a little bit of crumb that your oppressor has on this earth? You know what I'm saying? This brother was right there taken care of. And just a sidebar that lets you know that baptism is bullcrap because Christ didn't have to dip him in water to heal him. You know what I mean? But that goes to show you that serving the Lord or following Christ is what's going to heal us. You know what I mean? Let me get Ecclesiasticus 11:11, Baba Kasha, or Ecclesiasticus 11:10.
Salaki, sir.
Mm-hmm.
You say Ecclesiasticus?
God, Ecclesiasticus 11:10.
11
and 10.
Come
I'll let the one y'all read this time since you read the last time.
Come on, sir.
Juan said, wow, that's how they made me feel. Like I was handicapped. Huh? That's exactly how you're feeling there. It's a bunch of people with egos and selfish ambition. That's all it is. And here's the thing is there is many philosophies out there that might not have the title of Christianity, but guess what? It's patterned behind the same behavior. It's just masked in a different way. You got people that believe in zodiacs. You got people believe in the universe. You got people believe in, I don't know, numerology. There's all type of philosophy. I can't even keep up all of them. You know what I mean? There's all type of philosophies out there. And all of it makes you the center of that belief. All of it. And that's exactly what Christianity is. Instead of somebody being a Christian, their form of spirituality is making their self the center of the universe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Well, Christ gave us something great on this earth. A character trait that's so lost on this earth. And that is selflessness. You know what I mean? How to sacrifice for your brothers and sisters. That's what Christ gave us. And something like that is far more valuable. Far more valuable. Because guess what? Guess what? The earth does not revolve around you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And things can run a lot more smoother once you start to realize that. All right. So if somebody got that Ecclesiasticus?
Got another one, sir.
All right, you got another one, y'all.
Come. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 11, verse 10. My son, middle not with many matters.
Mm-hmm.
For if thou middle much, thou shalt not be innocent.
If you could, Nawan, y'all, can you read a little bit louder? I don't know if it's coming from my end.
Oh, come. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 11, verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
My son, middle not with many matters.
Mm-hmm.
For if thou middle much, thou shalt not be innocent.
Right. Meddle not in many matters. Meaning what? Right. A lot of times it's hard for people to understand just how to simply just play their role. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we all got a role to play on this earth. The problem is, oftentimes people try to go outside their boundaries, outside their role and their position that they was placed in. You know what I mean? And which causes a lot of strife in their life, a lot of confusion. Oftentimes you find yourself jammed up because you put yourself in stuff that did not concern you. Learn your role. Learn when to speak, when not to speak. Sometimes it's necessary for you to say something, or sometimes it's necessary for you to just hold your peace. Sometimes it's necessary for you to act and do something, or sometimes it's necessary for you to fall back and just let things play out. The only way you are able to decipher the two is through what?
It's a lot.
Go ahead.
Counsel.
Yes, that's a good answer. Yeah, counsel, which gives you wisdom, right? Wisdom. You know what I mean? And you can definitely get wisdom through counsel. But wisdom is just how you're going to decipher between the two. When to shut up and when not to shut up. When to say something, when not to say something. When to act or when to fall back. You need wisdom. You need discipline for that. All right? And just learning your role can help you with that. Learning everything doesn't center around you can help you with that. Right? Read on.
Come, sir. Thou shalt not be innocent. And if thou follow after, thou shalt not obtain. Neither shalt thou escape by fleeing.
All right. You involve yourself in something that don't concern you, guess what? There's always a consequence behind it. All right? Read on.
Come, verse 11. There is one that laboreth and taketh pains and maketh haste, and is so much the more behind.
Right. So remember that. That's one analogy. Right. Remember that analogy. Read on.
Come, verse 12. Again, there is another that is slow and have need of help, wanting ability, and full of poverty. Yet the eye of the Lord looked upon him for good.
For good, right? Now we have that analogy. What is this scripture? What is these two analogies trying to say? What's the understanding behind this?
In verse 11 and 12?
What we just read. Who want to break this down?
Salakia.
Go ahead.
is this about like? Is this about taking on your battles? Is this about battling?
Salakia.
Go ahead.
So, if I could, sir, is this about uh I would say like how you should approach your work in the truth?
Okay, break that down. Like, what do you mean by that?
So like when say for instance when you come into the truth, right? As a young man or as a yeah, I would say as a young man, you don't want to just be everywhere, say this, say that. Just want to be when I can become a alpha, when am I taking my test, when am I doing this, and you know you want all those things, but not even thinking that you are here to cleanse yourself of the world, but by through being patient and seeking to learn these scriptures diligently, trying to make sure that what you do and what you say is correct according to the Most High, according to what the men of the Lord are teaching you. You want to be like that. You want to be slow. You want to take your time learning these things. You don't just want to think about when you're gonna become a captain, when you're not even a trooper yet, or you are a trooper, but you still young in the truth. Take your time and learn these abilities. So when you have mastered one thing, you move on to another thing. So that when you have mastered all certain abilities by taking your time, the Lord sees these things that now you can do more work for Him. You can you are able to be a camp leader over a city or whatever the case, by taking your time and not just being hastily, because being hastily, you're gonna take shortcuts. You're not gonna really look. You're gonna be there for reasons that are not not profitable to the nation.
Okay. I mean that was a
Salak,
good hell of a breakdown. I ain't gonna but not quite,
Salak,
Warrior, not quite. But that was a hell of a breakdown. You know what I'm saying? Not
Canon,
quite, not quite.
canon, canon.
Salak. If I may,
You said Salaki no one yalla?
come. It is saying like, okay, in verse 11, let's say there is one that laboreth and taketh pains and maketh haste, and is so much the more behind. Again, there is another that is slow and have need of help, wanting ability and full of poverty. Yet the eye of the Lord looked upon him for good. It is saying like your position is is not as bad as you think it is. Like the Lord, okay, you may be in poverty, but you're not as far as behind as the person that, what it say, laboreth and taketh pains and maketh have and make it has. Like you're not as far as behind as him. The Lord is gonna work on you, even though you're poor, and like how the scriptures say, the meek shall inherit the earth and things like that. Is that what it's saying?
Okay. I kinda get your drift there a bit. But not quite, not quite, not quite. Um one more shot and we'll go ahead and dissect it. Anybody else wanna give it a shot?
Uh,
Yeah. All right, no sweat, no sweat. We'll go ahead and let's go ahead and dissect this thing. Let's start at verse 11 again.
Come.
come.
We'll go ahead and break this down, right? And the precept to this is also in Ecclesiastes chapter 9, right? And once I break it down, you'll understand and be like, oh, okay, that makes sense, right? Start at verse 11.
Come. This is the book Ecclesiasticus, chapter 11, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
There is one that laboreth
Mm-hmm.
and taketh pains and maketh haste, and is so much the more behind.
Right. So in this analogy, there is somebody that laboreth, Meaning this person is a hard-working person. They work hard, taking pains. You know what I mean? They hurting their back, their knees hurt, their feet hurt, but they still working. They doing everything that they can do to succeed. But yet, still in all what they doing, still in all their ability, guess what? They're still far behind. They still haven't met their goal. Their goal still haven't been reached. Right? Read on.
Come on. Verse 12. Again, there is another that is slow and hath need of help, wanting ability, and full of poverty. Yet the eye of the Lord looked upon him for good.
This analogy may not have the skills of the first one. They might not have the same opportunities and work ethic. Right? But yet the Lord still sees them for good. But yet they're still able to reach that goal, whatever they sought out to accomplish. What the scripture is saying here, time and chance happens to all men. It's not him that runneth, right? The race is not given to the fastest. I'm paraphrasing. The battle's not won from the strongest, but it's the Lord that decides, right? You can come in here and thinking, well, I know every precept. I know the Hebrew from front to back. But yet you a brother that treat other brothers like crap. And you might be another brother that's not eloquent as the next brother. You're not able to break down certain scriptures. But this brother is very, very, very focused on accomplishing whatever order is given it. And he gets it done. He may not be as eloquent, but he gets it done. And he kind out of kind, and he treat brothers with kindness. And the Lord will still use that brother and raise him up. Meaning it's not about your individual righteousness. It's not about anything that you may do. But at the end of the day, it's up to the Lord to decide. Y'all with me?
Come.
It's not about your own selfishness or what you're able to do on your own or whatever your selfish ambition is. Sometimes it don't even work out that way, right? I'm gonna use this for an analogy. Like I know y'all heard or probably seen or heard of or probably firsthand experience where, let's say you want to be a rapper. Let's say you in the studio all day. You write 20 songs, rapping, and you never get a record deal. And you have somebody on the other hand who's just a SoundCloud rapper who just put one track out on SoundCloud and that joint went viral. You understand that?
Come.
And sometimes we don't even understand how could that happen. How is that? I'm the one that's working hard. I'm the one that got all these raps. And he get viral after one little SoundCloud track. How could that be? How could that be?
Salaki, sir.
Go ahead.
Goes the brother that had the one hit. He took his time with the track. He took his time.
Let's
if
say
the
he
bud
didn't take the time. Let's say he just went in there 5 minutes, recorded it. Let's say he don't even know how to count bars. He don't even know how to count bars. He don't have a whole catalog of 20 songs. He just went in there, recorded it, boom, blew up. How is that? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Because the algorithm.
I don't think too literal. Not too literal. How is that?
Because the Lord put him in that position to blow up.
There you go. Lord put him in that position. You know what I'm saying? Or the algorithm, whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? But yeah. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's how things play out in life. You want to be humble enough to be thankful for the opportunity to even do what you're doing. You understand what I'm saying?
Come on.
Thank the Most High for that. Because it's the Lord that decides whether you get raised up or you get demoted.
Right.
The Lord to decide whether you in the truth or out the truth. That's up to him. All right? You want to have a level of humility and gratitude, not to be so high-minded in your psychosis and your ego, man. Thinking about is all about you. It's not about you. It's not about you as an individual. There's over millions of people we have to share this planet with. I mean, damn, you don't think there's nothing in place that teaches how to deal with people that's on this planet? I mean, the records is right here. This is how you get it done. If it was all about you, the Lord would have just left you on this planet. But he put rules in place to make sure that we know how to be human beings, decent human beings. Right? It's not about your own independent study or your independent knowledge or what you think or skills you have or how much you study and all that. You know what I'm saying? It's about what the Lord decides and you serving him. If you serve the Lord, he'll raise you up. Regardless if you don't have as much information, knowledge, or eloquent, or speak as well as the next brother. Right? Read on.
So, come, sir. Verse 13.
What that say?
Come with God, and lifted up his head from misery, so that many that saw it marveled at him.
Right. You know what I mean? You know what the Bible is great at telling? The type of stories that it tells? You know which type it is great at telling? The underdog story.
God.
I was great at telling those type of stories. You know what I'm saying? There's many stories in the book that you can refer back to and see how there was place as somebody as everybody counted out. Nobody expected them to succeed. Nobody thought them to be king, and nobody thought them to be ruler and all of that stuff. And soon enough, the Lord blessed them, and boom, it's like a miracle. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the beauty of these scriptures. You know what I mean? And that's what we live out today. We are those underdogs. We are the ones that everybody is counting out. You know what I mean? But if you keep yourself in subjection, keep yourself disciplined, do not puff yourself up, the Lord will raise us up. We learn how to treat each other and be kind with each other and sacrifice, the Lord will raise us up. If we exercise brotherhood, sisterhood, the Lord will raise us up. And guess what? Everybody will be astonished by it. Everybody will look back. I would have never thought gun violence would stop in the ghetto. I would have never thought that would happen. What? Niggas ain't selling drugs no more? Oh, man, how could that be? Like the oppressor, so like the oppressor needs you to be violent in the streets. He needs you to be that. He needs you to be the drug dealing thug who hates everybody. He needs you to be that. He needs you to be the gangbanger. You know why? Because that's how he succeeds. That's where he gained his profit from. So he pushed that propaganda on you. And we live a life expectancy of thinking that we can never make it outside of that world. That life is all about gangbanging, selling drugs, and hating your brothers. Well, Christ is giving you something outside of that. A world where those things don't exist. You know what I'm saying? And we can accomplish those things. We can prove the world wrong. We can prove our oppressors wrong. As long as we're willing to be brotherly or sisterly towards each other. The little things matter, man. The little things we do can go a long way. We can be that example to the kids in the hood. We can be that example to them sisters in them clubs. We can be that example to where people can look at them and be like, damn, I thought you would have never changed. Thought you would have never made it out of this lifestyle. But the Lord can do it. And it's all because he's being merciful on us. That's all it is. I'm no better than the next brother. It's because the Lord decided what role I should play. And damn it, I'm going to play my role well. That's all I'm going to do. I ain't expecting nothing out of it. This is what I need to do. This is my role. And that's it. Just stay in your lane.
Right.
We all going to get this penny. We all going to get this kingdom. It's all right. I don't need all that. I don't need all that. I don't need you to kiss my ass and get, you know what I mean, and all this, you know, look at me as so great Adawan and all that. Nah, that's cool. I understand. You know, that's the, you know, you should, you know, give honor to the men above you. You know what I'm saying? But that's not something that should puff you up. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't need all that. Guess what? Because I'm going to get the same award as that trooper. As that trooper is going to get the same award as me. We all going to get that one single penny.
Right.
All right. Let's drop that. Let's get James 1:27. I hope I ain't boring y'all. I heard the brothers are yawning. Yeah.
It's a lot.
I'm boring y'all, brothers. Like,
Nah,
you good.
This slave is a lot.
Yeah. What time it is, if I could?
What
was that?
8:35.
8:35. Yeah, we got a couple more time to go. We're almost there, y'all. Let me get James. Maybe I'll switch the topic after this verse. Let me get James 1:27.
Gone.
Let's start me at 26, Baba Kasha.
Come on. James 1:27. 27, Khan. 20, you say 26 or 27?
26, Baba Kasha.
Khan. This is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 26. If any man among you seem to be is this religious? Religious.
You couldn't believe that shit. You were like, what? Is this the Bible? Oh man, Yeshai couldn't believe it, boy. He had flashbacks like he was in church real quick. Like, man, you gotta worry. You're not in church no more. But yes, the word religious is in the Bible, but it's not in the context that people make it out to be today. All right. You can start from the top. What was that?
This is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 26. If any man among you seems to be religious,
meaning you have a code of belief that you follow behind, right? You have knowledge that you practice, whatever it may be. Let's say it's something that's outside of the Bible, Egyptology or astrology, whatever you believe in. Right? Whatever you practice, right? Read on.
And bridleth not his tongue.
Mm-hmm.
But deceiveth his own heart.
Mm-hmm.
This man's religion is vain.
Right. What does it mean, bridle not his tongue? What does that mean?
Salakia.
Go ahead.
To do not have control of what you speak. You just say things whatever comes to your mind.
Right. Remember what I said earlier in the beginning of the class? That
Come.
whatever information that you have, what is the least that it should at least teach you?
I don't understand.
Just see who's paying attention. Look, go ahead.
Salakia, sir. To you said like you should know when to speak or not to speak. When to that in that type of sense. When to like you said there's like because I actually pulled a precept on myself. You said there's a time to do everything.
Right. Yeah. That's not kind of what I was thinking about, right? But yeah, that kind of goes into the context of it. But something that's more pinpoint would be whatever you believe, let it at least teach you how to be a decent human being. You understand what I'm saying?
Come on.
Like whatever your belief system may be, whether it's outside of the Bible, the least that it can show you is how to have discipline, how to be a decent human being. Learn how to, like you said, speak and not to speak. That's the least it can show you. Because guess what? That's how true whatever your belief system is, that's how it's going to be measured. That's the proof right there to show whatever your belief system is true. Well, how does it make you as a human being? Does it make you look down on others? Does it make you to treat others like crap? Does it make you to be self-centered? Does it make you to curse people out and talk down on people? Does it make you to be selfless? Does it make you to be selfish? Well, what does it make you out to be? Whatever your behavior is will show you whether or not your belief system is true or not. Right? And out of all the beliefs that's out there, there is but one that I know that to be true. And you know how I know that? How do I know the Bible, which is the belief system that I ascribe to, right? How do I know it is to be true?
You're not
Go ahead.
by the commandments.
Salakia.
Which is true, but give me more in context. So you go ahead, Yeshai.
It has taught you discipline and just to be a decent human being.
Thank you. That's how I know it's true. Because it teaches me how to be a better person, how to be kind, how to be a brother, how to be a decent human being. And out of all the belief systems out there, none of it is actually teaching you that, but the Bible. The Bible teaches you how to be selfless, how to sacrifice, how to speak to one another, what tone you should use, levels you should use. When is it convenient to speak? That's very important too. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's not what you say, but how you say it. Guess what? The Bible addresses even the smallest matters just as that. You know why? That's how you know it is to be true. Because it teaches people how to have common decency, how to be kind and brotherly. Right? Read on.
Khan, verse 27. Pure religion and undefiled, pure religion and undefiled before the Most High God And the Father is this.
This is
To
what belief system that the Lord looks as pure. I don't care what information you may know. You may know what star aligns with that star and what month and all of that bull crap, and read 100 books from Babylon to Timbuktu. No matter, out of all the belief systems that's out there, there's only one way you can know if it's pure or true. Read on.
Kanun Khan. To visit the fatherless and widow in their affliction, and to keep himself unspotted from the world.
So what should you do? Break that down. How do you know if it's pure and true and righteous? What you got to do?
Like
Go ahead.
protect.
What was that?
I said protect, sir.
My bad. I can barely hear you. You can say that one more time?
So like, can you hear me?
Can't hear you now.
Come with con, sir. I said protect.
You said protect?
Come with con, sir.
Protect? Like, what do you mean by that?
We at verse 27, right?
Con, we have verse 27.
Come with con, where it say to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction, and to keep himself unspotted from the world.
Mm-hmm.
Come with con. I was saying that, is that to protect them? Like,
Yeah. I mean, that's a part of it, right? Well, what's the overall thing?
To be a person.
Yeah, God. You'll know somebody's a good person by their works. If they out there clothing the homeless brothers and sisters that's out there, counseling those that's afflicted, the single mothers out there, making sure they good. Shit, what's that sister name? Sonia Massey.
Khan.
Right? Sisters like that, she should have been calling up a brother of some male figure within her family to protect her. That's how at least you would know that whatever you believe is true. If you believe in God like I believe in God, you ain't gotta tell it. You ain't gotta tell it to me by how loud you say hallelujah and praise dance. Go out there and feed the hungry. Go out here and take care of these single mothers. Raise these young brothers and sisters out there. That's how you will know whatever belief system is, with whatever belief system you're in, that it is to be true. That's the only way. Other than that, it's vain. It's pointless. It's nothing. You just a nigga with a bunch of information. That's all you is. And with that information, you puff yourself up. Yeah, I know about the new planet that just appeared 2 days ago. Who gives a crap? The hell is that planet gonna do for a nigga that's on drugs?
Right.
We need soldiers. We need boots on the ground. Me knowing about the ancient mummy tomb of King Tut, whoever, they ain't gonna get a nigga off of drugs, man. It's not gonna get a sister off of a pole, man. It's by your actions, putting in work, getting your hands dirty. That's what's gonna get them off of drugs. Being in the streets, being in their faces, talking to them, counseling them, making sure that all their needs is taken care of. Other than that, whatever you believe is bullcrap, and you just puffing yourself up. All right. Drop that. Time's sake. What time it is?
8:47, sir.
8:47, sir.
8:47. Then we still got time. Look like I've been on here with y'all forever, huh?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
So, Salakia, sir, I just want to touch on something you said last week about, like these fake Israelite groups.
Mm-hmm.
So there was like there's like a couple of brothers that were following, and not the purple, the other one,
Mm-hmm.
where the one that says he doesn't follow Paul, he follows Christ. You remember that video?
Yeah, I remember that one.
Right,
Sakari. Yeah.
right, cancer. So
Mm-hmm.
so like there are a few like brothers that are like that follows those brothers,
Mm-hmm.
specifically, the Sakari group.
Mm-hmm.
And now with them brothers splitting up, because they like they are brothers that left that group
Mm-hmm.
and started their own group. And now
Mm-hmm.
you have Sakari in this group, and this brother, like some of them, they were posting a lot about Sakari.
Mm-hmm.
So now that the group has split, they're no longer like posting Sakari on their Facebook. They now going to they posting other Israelite groups. So like I wanted to ask, like, I know they are fake, they are fake Israelite group, and they are not supposed to be on the street. But even with these things that they are doing, right? Is that still dividing the nation? Like, in terms of, like, how can I say, with brothers, like they they followed them, but now there's a like a how can I say, like, this group's divided now. Suddenly, like, say I'm gonna take myself now, I become a individualite because that group has split. Now, so now I'm gonna decide I'm gonna teach myself. So I just wanted to know, like, should those guys be mindful of what they do, or should we just leave them because fake Israelites is fake Israelites?
Right, right. I mean, both statements that you made at towards the end is uh right within itself. You know what I'm saying? And as far as like going out there and teaching on your own, that would be the puff up thing to do. That would be the proud thing to do. You know what I'm saying? But the thing to do in showing that you really love the Most High will be to humble yourself and come to the ISUPK, right? And that's for every Israelite group out there. Listen, we don't have no personal hatred against no group out there. Ain't no, what I mean? This ain't no, we don't be camp banging. This ain't no my set versus this, that's child's play. That's corny. You know what I'm saying? We don't do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like this door is open to every brother or sister, regardless of where you at. You know what I mean? Wherever you at in this journey, you know what I'm saying? You're always welcome in. The problem is a lot of people is not humble enough, right, to actually acknowledge that and come on into the ISUPK. All right. So because of the status they may had in this fake Israelite group, because of the rank that they had in this fake Israelite group, why would anybody want to come into the ISUPK and start all of that over? Nobody wants to do that, right?
Khan,
Human nature. Go ahead.
Khan, no,
Mm-hmm.
Khan, you're right, sir.
God, right? Because human nature will have it where I want to be praised all the time. And I can't do that if I'm going to be dressed in all black saying Khan out of one Khan. Right?
Khan,
So some of these cats, they just too puffed up to realize that what they following is not true. Now, as far as us going out there to, I guess what you was trying to like mentioning, like to stop them a little bit, or
La Asa.
okay,
My
right? Well,
question was,
mhm.
should those groups be mindful of what they do, or should we just leave them alone and let fake Israelites be fake Israelites?
Yeah, both. You know what I mean? They should be mindful of what they do and come into the ICPK and we'll also just let them be because they gonna eventually expose themselves. You know what I mean? Like, remember what Christ, the parable, and we don't have to go to it for time's sake, but the parable where the disciples were seeing other cats teaching, and they wasn't down with Christ. And the disciples was asking Christ, like, yo, should we, go out there and confront them brothers? And Christ was like, nah, let them be. You know what I mean? Because eventually it's all works in Christ's favor. Right? Because the people, the public is going to have to see who's real and who's not. All right? And the only way for that to be determined, you're going to need an opposition. You're going to need an opposition. You're going to need somebody to be on the other side, so that way the people can make the decision on who's real and who's fake. And that decision is going to be a lot easier for people once these groups start to expose themselves. That's all.
It's a lot, sir.
Go ahead.
I mean, I got a precept.
Kind of, you got it, word.
I could just paraphrase the verses before about Kasha, Jeremiah 28, where it speaks about the prophets which prophesied of war and pestilence. And the verse now where it say the prophet which prophesied for peace. When the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord had truly sent him. It's like,
nah, yeah, kind of. That's a good precept word, kind of. You know what I mean? Not everybody is chosen to be in this position. Listen, thank the Most High that you found the Isupk. You know what I mean? I listen. I thank the Most High for it, because I could have been in any other Israelite group. You dig what I'm saying? And the Lord, listen. And another precept will be where Christ said that He speaks in parable, because hearing that they hear not and seeing that they see not. You know what I'm talking about?
Come on.
Right? I'm paraphrasing, right? Because the Lord did not choose everybody. Right? So if the Lord did not choose everybody, there's going to be there needs to be a pocket for them to go, because where else they're going to go? All right?
Come on.
Like, there's a winning team that the Lord created for His chosen, and He needs to put a place for those that's not on a winning team that He did not choose. And right. I feel like these other Israelite groups is for that. You get what I'm saying? There need to be a place for them to go. You know what I mean? And the Lord established that for that exact purpose. For you to be in that church, for you to be in that group, for you to be in that religion, because the Lord did not choose you. Sorry. You know what I mean? That's how it is. So, yeah, get it? Yeah, with me?
Come on, Adawan.
All right.
It's 8:56, sir.
8:56.
Come on. That's it.
That's it. You ready to go? Let me get one more verse on but man, big up to y'all brothers, Most High in Christ, the water. Also knowing your Allah, also Yeshaya, everybody that participated in the chat, man. I'm glad that y'all was able to hop on. Juan, Big Jew, Trooper Mashah, you know what I mean? Everybody on here. Sis Makara, Most High in Christ. Good to hear from you, sis. You know what I mean? Everybody on here. Banya Nas, Shaya Raj, Just Art and Paint. Glad to have y'all on. Of course, class will continue to proceed. Same time tomorrow. I do want to mention before we get to the security announcements, war as usual, y'all.
Right.
Hop on. War as usual is going down on YouTube. You know what I mean? It's going to start at 9:30. We're going to talk about topics. You can join anytime. Click the link. All that, you know what I mean? It's something, fun for us to chill and just conversate. You know what I mean? So make sure y'all tune in. War as usual on YouTube. But with that, man, I'm going to pass the class over to Priest and Officer Yeshaya.
Come. Clap it up for the teacher in our class. Slugger, so I'm gonna go to the announcements. Or you want us to straight out salute?
We got time for the announcements. Yeah,
Khan, ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK. Started out at 1 West, 121st Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are
please, everybody, listen to what this brother is saying, man. It will save your life. All right. Let's keep order in this place, y'all. Read on.
Khan. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. We found it in Numbers chapter 18 and 21 and Malachi chapter 3 verse 8 to 10, which means tenth in the which means ma'asra in the Hebrew, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, a free will offering for the priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations is the memorial of blowing of trumpets, the first day of the 7th month.
I do want to mention another, if I could, real quick, another free will offering will be building funds. If y'all able to assist with the building funds, this is what keeps the light on in the school. And the school is a safe haven for all of us. It belongs to me, you, and to everybody that's a part of the school in Florida. You know what I'm saying? It belongs to everybody as much as it does belong to Commander General Yohana. It's a spot you can go to crash, kick it, get counsel, whatever you need, man. Just make sure you pay that building fund. It will really help out. All right, go ahead.
Khan, memorial of blowing of trumpets, first day of the 7th month, which falls on the 2nd of October 2024. We'll find it in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 24 and 25. If anyone wants to become a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. Boots, shirt, pants, headbands, or scarf. And with that, we're going to say a Muslim. We're going to set up a courtesy salute to the teacher in the class.
I do want to mention as well, that's online classes also, y'all. You know what I mean? If you're looking to join the school, be in all black. Everything. No spot of white. Be in all black. And sisters as well. You know, make sure your head covered. All right. So that's online classes as well. All right. You got to worry.
Khan. I'm going to say a Muslim. Men of Israel, a Muslim Shabbat. I Muslim. Barak. Yahweh Ba'ashim Shah Barakatah.
That boy put the accent on that joint.
Yeah, you hear that?
Salagia, that's how we say the R in my language.
Okay. That boy Ephraim right, boy. All right, go ahead. Love that.
Yazamata saw and turn and face the sisters. Sisters, you may rise, you may stand. We're going to set up a courtesy salute to the sisters in the class. Men of Israel, a Majim Shabbat. I Majim. Barak.
Yahweh
Yahweh Shema, Asmemba, Shimei Otai. Yazamata, class dismissed.
Yeah. Water, y'all. Or as usual.